Thanks for joining us. Sean P. Diddy Combs is once again back in the spotlight, not for his music or business ventures, but of course, more controversies and scandals that have marked his rise to fame with two new documentaries. Of course, Peacock's Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy, and now Investigation Discovery and Max's The Fall of Diddy, examining his past long-standing allegations and tragic events resurfacing. Have you had a chance to watch any of this yet, Stacey?
I have not. I've only seen the clips, some excerpts,
Hmm.
and just enough to make me go, "Holy crap.
Yeah.
Wow."
I watched. It's a four-parter, the new one, The Fall of Diddy, which is on Investigation Discovery, which you can get if you have HBO Max. I watched the first episode. I think I fell asleep probably towards the end of it.
Hmm.
But it's thus far, I feel like it's rehashing a lot of the things that we've already seen, and there's a lot of interviews with a lot of the same people. I haven't gotten through it all. There's four episodes, each about 45 minutes apiece. So it's roughly, close to 3.5, 4 hours long at the end of the day. So I am curious to see if there's anything new that comes out of this. One of the most harrowing chapters in Combs' history took place on December 28th of 1991 during a charity basketball game he co-hosted at New York City's City College. I'm surprised we don't remember more about this. The then
I
20
don't remember a damn thing about this.
No. The then 22-year-old was working at Uptown Records. Combs partnered with the rapper Heavy D to organize the event. However, the venue, with a capacity of 2,730, was packed with over 5,000 people, while thousands more were stuck outside. The overcrowding led to a deadly stampede, and fans surged into the gymnasium. The inward opening doors created a bottleneck, resulting in 29 injuries and 9 fatalities, mostly teenagers. And if you watch this, you can see the structure of this facility and how it was laid out. You walk into City College, and there's uh, like a in the lobby, if you will, and then there's stairs that go down, and those stairs go down into the gymnasium. It's almost like you walk in on the higher level of seating, and you go down those stairs to get into the lower area of seating and to get to the floor. And this basketball game was packed to the brim. Diddy, in a later interview, said, "Oh, we didn't sell it out." Bullshit, you didn't sell it out. You oversold the damn thing.
Yeah.
So they have all the seats basically filled. It's already packed. They're ready for the game. And there are still people outside with tickets that they paid for. This is not people waiting in line. It's not a free game that anybody can come in, first come, first serve. No, they had tickets that they paid for, and they really wanted to get into this thing. It was a big deal. You had like Boys to Men, LL Cool J, other people playing in this game. So it was something that the community was really excited for and looking forward to at that moment in time. And eventually, they closed the doors on the outside, saying, "Nobody else in, we can't do this." Well, they get through the doors. The crowd does. And then they want to get to the gym floor, which gets people down to that little pit that takes you into the gym. And those doors are shut and locked.
Mm.
So nobody can get through. All you can do is get in there as more people pile in, and then you are just sandwiched against people. And those doors remained shut for a very long time until eventually, when they were open, as all stampedes happen like this, once the opening happens, you tumble over as it opens. And then people start trying to crawl over people and crawl over other people. It's like ants. When you kick a hill, they're all climbing over each other. That's what
Hmm.
happened. But it was people. And eventually, 9 people are killed in this stampede, and they had to shut it down. Everyone was running around trying to help and save people, but it clearly violated a lot of laws, fire marshal laws. At the end, Diddy and his promotion company were found 50% liable on this, and they settled with each of the families. Victims' families filed lawsuits, according to Combs, of overselling tickets, failing to provide adequate security, and promoting the event as if the venue could hold 10,000 people.
Ooh.
While Combs and Heavy D were held 50% responsible, with City College bearing the other half, Combs never faced criminal charges. Instead, he settled the civil lawsuits, paying families of the victims, including $40,000 to Jason Swain, whose brother died in the stampede. Swain stated in the making of A Bad Boy, "We got $40,000 from Sean Combs directly, but he never owned up to it. Never just said, 'I apologize.'" In the newly released The Fall of Diddy, other allegations of misconduct added to the controversy. Daryl Smith, the former editor-in-chief of Vibe, Danielle Smith, rather, the former editor-in-chief of Vibe magazine, shared how Combs threatened her over editorial control of a 1997 cover shoot. He said he would be seeing me dead in the trunk if I did not show it to him. He wanted to see the covers. Vibe had the policy, as most publications do at the time, no, you can't see the cover. Everyone sees the cover once we release it. He didn't like that. Smith pursued legal action, forcing Combs to issue a written apology. Basically, she said, if you don't apologize or take that back, I'm going to call my attorney. She calls her attorney. Attorney sends over basically a demand letter saying, you have about 2 hours to fax her back an apology or we're going to go after you. He eventually faxed back the apology. Further claims delve into Combs' time at Howard University, where an anonymous witness recalled him beating a woman with a belt outside a dorm. We told him to stop. He yelled at us to stay out of it, she said. Another pivotal scandal revisited in the series is a 1999 nightclub shooting involving Combs. Wardell Fenderson, Combs' former driver, claimed he witnessed Combs carrying the gun into the venue and later discarding it after the shooting. Natina Griffin, a victim who was shot in the face, has identified Combs as the shooter multiple times. Fenderson alleged that Combs offered him $50,000 to take the blame, which he refused. Combs was later acquitted, while his associate, James Shine Barrow, was convicted. He found someone else to take the fall. Tim Patterson, a childhood friend of Combs, revealed further troubling details about his relationship. Any girl that's with Sean has to be fixed to Sean's specs, Patterson said, citing incidents of jealousy-fueled abuse against partners, including the mother of Combs' child, Misa Hilton. The documentaries reveal a very complex and controversial figure whose path to fame is marred by tragedy, unresolved accountability, and allegations of abuse and violence. It's another interesting one to, I would certainly say, take a look at, because it further paints the picture of Sean Combs. Of course, he denies everything and that all of this is false, and someday everyone will see their light and everyone will see the truth when it comes out in court. You know, the same sort of thing you said about the Cassie video. That's bullshit. Doesn't happen. I was perfect there. Nothing happened. And then we watched that. Yeah. I'm sure that happened in a vacuum, that he's never done that before.
There's a lot of shirking of responsibility. I mean, even let's just take it down to the basics of the stampede. It was in a venue that too many people were in. There's a fire code number of people that there should have been. You know, basic numbers don't lie, you know? So too many people in the building, a stampede happens, people died. He couldn't even own up to that and go, wow, you know, we made a mistake. We're a little overzealous about getting people in there. It shouldn't have happened, and I apologize. That would have been an easy one. Couldn't do it. Did not have the capacity, the wherewithal to say, I am sorry. I am human. I made a mistake. Yeah. I'm so sorry that people died. I'll try to do better. Whatever the blah, blah, blah is. He couldn't even fucking do that.
No.
Nope. I didn't do anything wrong. It was perfect. Okay.
Yeah. That's, I mean, again, par for the course for the narcissist and someone like Diddy, because they don't believe they did anything wrong. They believe that they made a mistake, and that's all this really is. It was a horrible mistake. Diddy was not sitting there planning, let's go kill a bunch of people in a stampede in an event I'm promoting. That's the last thing he would have wanted. But you didn't put the things in place to prevent such a thing from happening either. You way oversold that thing. And look, the people who bought these tickets, They're going to show up. It's not like it's a
Mhm.
freebie that they got at the bank for the Shrine Circus coming to town. They paid good money to go see celebrities play basketball. You're gonna have those ticket holders come to the actual event with no real plan in place for them getting into the event. I don't know if
Or
that's
getting out.
arrogance. I mean, he was 22 years old. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Arrogance, stupidity, lack of experience in something like that. Maybe. I don't know. But it shows more about his character at the end of the day, not wanting to take any sort of public responsibility for it, or at least just saying, I'm sorry after all of the legal maneuvers have ended. Once you've settled with everybody, I get, if you say something out, that's where it gets tricky with attorneys because they're going to say, don't say shit, don't apologize, because then that shows you're at fault and you don't want that right now. But once the dust has settled, couldn't you say something? I mean, but you won't if you don't believe you really had anything to do with it.
Well, and that's just par for the course for his narcissism. I mean, this guy is not taking responsibility for anything. And there's so many witnesses. There's things on video.
Yeah.
He may not even believe he's done it. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just here are the facts. This happened. He, in his mind, probably doesn't even think that he has any part in any of these things.
Yeah.
That's just the way he is.
Yeah. And that's how they're able to operate. And that's why they're so maddening to all of us. Because you look like, what the hell? Like, what are you doing? It's being himself. This is par for the course. And that was early on in the career of Diddy.
Beating somebody with a belt. I forgot about that one.
Yeah. His character really hasn't changed a whole lot. I mean, he went to Howard University for 2 years, dropped out, went into the music business. He never really, I think, lived a normal life.
No.
I mean, his childhood was messed up. His father was murdered. He was raised by the mother who allegedly had all these sort of parties and allegedly even sex parties, according to some eyewitnesses that grew up with him. That's put out there in the documentaries as well. So if you put all these pieces together, as I always say, the recipe, I'm not really surprised. What failed more than anything is the rest of us, the rest of the system, the rest of society, looking the other way. Because
the music industry.
Yeah, because if that would have said early on, hey, this isn't cool, people like that get stopped that way. But I mean, look at R. Kelly. We knew about that. A lot of people were talking about it. I thought it was insane that we were still playing his music.
Right.
But the public as a whole demanded it. They wanted it. They were still, getting their groove on to the remix of Ignition.
Yeah.
And walking down the aisle to Chris Brown and, all that sort of shit. Even after we knew how shitty these people were. Fuck, Chris Brown is still a successful musician. People are still out there buying fucking tickets to his shows and buying his records. Never mind that he's fucking Ike Turner 3.0.
Yes.
It's just like...
Yeah. So I can't tell you how many weddings I went to, even after the R. Kelly scandal and everything came out. I Believe I Can Fly was, the bridesmaids are sauntering down the aisle at a church in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I'm like, what in the hell am I witnessing? Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, Step in the Name of Love. That's another big one that people were getting into in their weddings. And I get, being able to, I guess, listen to the music if you want and just respect the music because it holds a place in your heart for a time in your life before you knew these sort of things in some cases, and some we already did know. But do you go play that at your wedding?
I know.
This is how these people continue to thrive because people still support them. People still want their music. This is why Chris Brown is still out there.
Yeah.
I imagine there'll be another reckoning. What's that?
We saw the pictures of Rihanna's face.
Yes.
We weren't supposed to, but we saw them.
I feel like there will be another reckoning there with Chris
Yeah.
Brown at some point. I feel like something else shitty will happen, and then it'll be, oh my God, we had no idea. The
Yeah,
fuck you
did.
didn't. Unless he's cleaned up his act. I don't know. But, once an abuser, you're kind of always an abuser. I mean, if it's, again, I always say, if it's in you, it's in you. If it's not, it's not. And not everybody is capable of doing those things. But if you are, that's not a switch you can flip back. That's not a door you can come back out of and say, I'm not going to be out here anymore. No, you've already tasted that air and you've already breathed it. And you're like, I'm good with this. You can't go back if that's who you are. So
No.
I guess not a lot of surprise here. Just the systems that help cover up these people's horrible behavior that still very much exist. I mean, we think, oh, we got this. This is going to be a reckoning in the... I don't know. If there's going to be a reckoning in the music industry, then more people need to start calling out more shitty people and holding them to account. Otherwise, it's going to be another story. Another 5 years from now, it'll be somebody else. Maybe next time it will be Chris Brown. Somebody else. They're out there. But I don't know. And I'm not saying Chris Brown is doing anything to the level of what Diddy did, but in terms of abuse and still getting massive support from the public, yeah, I just don't get it.
No.